Dan kon julle 'n bietjie nader, julle is mos nog jonk man. Kom eens klomp ietsie voor. Thank you very much for coming out, everyone. It is appreciated. You know, for a house meeting, this is actually surprising. Julle gaan niks worry. Nothing that I'm going to say to you hasn't been said before. The problem with us is we say it in closed doors. We say it behind closed doors. We say it in WhatsApp groups. It needed to be said loudly. It needed to be said so that government could hear it. The fact that apartheid lasted 48 years and the new dispensation is 28 years old, and to this day nothing has improved for the coloured community. Nothing. We're still as underemployed as we were during apartheid. We're still as landless as we were under verwoed, Botha, de Klerk. You can run through them all. Nothing has changed for us. But as you sit here today, I can guarantee you that everybody over the age of 30 has felt, not heard, felt what this government thinks of them. You've either been denied a job because of your skin color, you've been denied a bursary because of your skin color, you've been denied a promotion because of your skin color, yes. You've been denied a house because of your skin color. There's a recurring theme here. In the eyes of this government, there's something wrong with your skin color. I am as dark-skinned as any African, so it must be my first language, or maybe my accent. Believe it or not, the deputy mayor and I went to school together. As I mean, I got school, but anyway. Moet later gemoederd. The accent on Eddie Andrews is as fake as the Democratic Alliance claims of service delivery to the coloured community. Listen to what I'm saying to you. It's dressed up. It's not natural. It's faked just for you. But when they package the crap they feed you, it's accepted as if he's reading it from the Bible itself. You must understand that the city of Cape Town is not a big place. I mean, I say this all the time. It's from Strand to Hout Bay, just past Atlantis to Tiger Valley. Yeah, to Tiger Valley. That's the city of Cape Town. With a budget of 75 billion rand a year. 75, listen carefully, billion rand a year. Does anybody know the difference between 1 million and 1 billion? You want me to explain it to you?
It's 1,000 million.
I give you 1 million rand. I give you 1 million rand. Go and spend 10,000 rand a day. Your 1 million rand is up within 3 months and a little bit. I give you 1 billion rand a day. You spend 10,000 rand every day for the next 13 years. They've got 75 of those billions. But our streets are dirty. Our schools are collapsing. Our infrastructure is falling apart. Our areas are unsafe. The lights are off at night. Do you understand that it's not a financial problem? It's a strategy. They will keep your areas dark, dirty, unsafe, so that you can think less of yourself, less of your neighbor, less of your children. This is the white man's plan since he got off the boat. Sorry, Paul. And to this day, colored people have it in their minds that a white man is equipped to lead us.
Yes.
Where have they led us? They've led us from the shade of the mountain, from the shade of Constantia, here, to Aideveld, to Bonteville, to Lavendale. These people are leading you to your doom. And our communities applaud it. Places like Delft, like Heinz Park, like Happy Valley are created because we are not dying naturally fast enough. They accelerate our mortality rate by using the system. As you sit here, your son is expected to live to 42. 42! The colored male has the shortest lifespan in the country for a reason. And the reasons are simple. First, they take away work. Then they lock them out of schools. Then they bring the guns and the drugs, and the rest takes care of itself. You see, the only place where there's a value on your life is in prison. 780 rand a day. That's what a pandit is worth. A pensioner is worth 1,800 rand a month to the state. Do you understand the system? We are here to break the system that kills our boys. 10 a day. Say it slowly, guys. 10 a day. You know, there's a big thing. My wife can tell you I watch YouTube all day long. In Los Angeles, they had a gang war that raged for a decade. 175 to 195 young black males lost their lives in Los Angeles a year. And it was a crisis in America. In the city of Cape Town, 3,500 of our boys are killed every year, and they pretend that nothing is wrong. They say to us that this is the best run city in the world. How can the best run city in the world be the most dangerous city in the world? Do the math. Your mayor is lying. It's the best run city in the world if you live on that side of the M3. If your address says Rondebosch, if it says Claremont, Constantia, Llandudno, you're in heaven, you don't need to die. If you cross the road, you're living in hell. Ow, hell. But they don't see this. You see, I can hardly blame the DA. I blame the colored community. I blame the colored community. Because if you were to make me the president of Mexico, I can guarantee you I'd run the country into the ground, because I know nothing about Mexico. I know nothing about Mexican culture. I do not understand the subculture or the indigenous language. We are asking someone that does not understand us to rule us. And he does a bloody good job of misruling it all. They question colored capability. They question our qualifications, but they let white matriculants run our lives. The DA has a history, listen carefully, a history of court findings where the Democratic Alliance appoints white underqualified people ahead of colored people with the right qualification. It's what they do. It's what they think of you and your effort. Now, you know what upsets me about this? They might as well give a young white person a matric certificate with his birth certificate. It's guaranteed. Your kids have to walk 6, 8, 10, 12 kilometers to school and back. Some of them have to take 2 taxis to get to school and back. There are days when you don't have taxi fare to get him to school and back. He's got to walk through bullets and gangsters and drug dealers to get to school and back. Through a wille bos to school and back. He makes all the right decisions. He gets his matric. And the system says, no, colored boy, it was a waste of 12 years of risking your life to get to school and back. Yeah. You want to know why colored people no longer throw in their CVs? We've been taught it's a waste of time. Yeah. Government departments will dispose of your CV. They'll throw it away. Yeah. They do it. They just check your surname. There isn't an X in it. Get rid of it. And we vote for this. The colored community. This is what's wrong with the colored community. Die kan nou 'n bid hier gewees het waar 'n dooie mens ek kon sê aan met jou harde music. Dit is plain disrespectful, man. En sy voel nog dis kwaai ook. Sy kyk nog jou vuil gat. Excuse me. The colored community is in an abusive relationship with the Democratic Alliance. We are the battered spouse. Hulle moer vir ons, hulle weet ons kom terug. They starve us of finances, they know we come back. They know, election day, you are so hungry, you're prepared to forget 5 years of abuse. We need to start thinking more of ourselves. This party is here to bring our dignity back home.
Yes.
We are going to change this narrative. You see, they've got a 50-year plan for us. You see those beautiful views in Hout Bay where the coloured people live in those council houses. They've already planned what they're going to do with that land soon as they get rid of us. They've been planning this for 50 years. We erased that slide. We stopped the game in its tracks. I can tell you, the day a coloured government rules this province and this Cape Town, 75% of everything will be reserved for the coloured people, as it should be. You know, when I tell you that this party is prepared to go to war for your children, that is not an election slogan, people.
That's a fact.
Over the last 5 years, we have faced bullets, tear gas, lawsuit, imprisonment. They think, well, they know they can't. They thought that they could intimidate us. They thought they could. Now they know that's not a game. Now they know that if this needs to get physical, it will. Go ask J.P. Smith. Now they know that they face something that they've never faced before. They face a defiant coloured, an aggressive coloured, a hostile coloured, a coloured who's had enough. We are well and truly gutful of all of this. The coloured community deserves more. The coloured child deserves better. Who's calling me?
No, he wants to know what this is about.
I come as a curriculum. In 28 years, we have lost over 130,000 of our boys. COVID never killed that many people. Can you imagine the trauma of a mother, a son, a daughter, a brother, to see your loved one laying with his fucking brains laying all over the pavement? Can you imagine that trauma? Now, can you imagine 130,000 families experiencing that trauma? That they have to live with it and deal with it and be your neighbors with it and marry into your family with it. And then we wonder why our community is all screwed up. It's a traumatized community and the state has done bugger all about it. No social workers, no trauma counselors, nothing. They tell you, get on with it. But whenever I argue with a Boer, they bring up the Anglo-Boer War and the trauma the Afrikaner community felt. And that was 100 years ago. You know what the funny thing about the New South Africa is? When the Dutch landed here and claimed to have discovered South Africa, they lie. The Portuguese were here before them, and the Chinese before that. And then the English came, and they had a war. And then the English paid the Dutch. They paid the Dutch for South Africa. And then the English and the Boer had a war, the Anglo-Boer War. And the Boers suffered in that war. And then the English paid the Boers. Mooi wat ek julle sê, paid the Boers. And when we, as the people who talk about enslavement and land dispossession, speak about reparations today, it's a bloody joke to them. We are here. We are here. We ain't going nowhere.
Yes.
We are here because we want our history rewritten.
Yes.
We want reparation. We want our land back. I'm telling you now, the day we become the government of this province, we are going home. Sandburg Park is not your home. Julle weet mos waar vandaan julle kom. We are going home. Laat die boere, laat die Engelse solank vrede maak met die feit dat hulle gaan leer. Hulle gaan leer hoe het voel om neighbors te hê met kroeshare. Hulle gaan leer hoe ryk het GHD. We are the most segregated city in the entire country. The only place where people come together across the racial line is at work. Yes, black people that live here. Where's the socialization? Doesn't happen. There's a resentment between race groups. It's just true. And government does nothing but perpetuate it. It's a winnable fight. This is a winnable fight. As a matter of fact, let me tell you this. We are going to win this fight.
Yes.
That day will come when your children are in the varsities by their thousands.
Yes.
When you walk into a police station and you see 50% of this colored. I can't remember the last time I had a conversation with a colored policeman, to be honest with you. This is our time. This is our 2024. We get this right, everything changes. If our people betray their own children again, prepare to bury more of our kids. Just get ready to do it.
Yes.
You live in the only province in the world where government will switch your water off and switch it on in the month when you're supposed to vote for them and claim it as a victory. I think everybody sitting here sits here with a water bill that they can't afford. But you voted for it. In 2016, the Democratic Alliance put your water up. Who said, you know what, I'm not voting for a government that thinks so little of me that they want to turn off my basic human right? We went out. We must be honest. We voted for it.
Yes.
And when you did that, you gave them the impression that they can do whatever they want to with you. You'd never start thinking for yourself. Today we think. Today we do. In 2024 we act. You know the only reason Alan Wynne is the Premier of the Western Cape? I'll tell you why. He's the Premier of the Western Cape because he was the Provincial Minister for Economic Development. And he did such a great job in that portfolio that they made him the Premier. When I tell you he did a great job, he did absolutely nothing for economic development in the colored community. It's for the white boys only. That's what they want to perpetuate. White people in heaven, colored and black people in poverty. Colored and black people fighting each other over the crumbs. Maar die koek gaat Constantie toe. We have to break this chain. And it has to be now. It has to be now. It has to be now because Alan Zille is not going to live long. And I want that thing to see us rule this province.
Yes.
God mustn't take her now. I want that thing to see it. Okay, I don't want to get sued for saying it. Stand over here. Guys, this is it. None of us here is going to live forever. But all of you know we've got nothing to leave our kids. Nothing. This is for them. We need to unlock that land that they took from us. We need to get reparation for the colored community for what they did to us. Then we're all good to go meet our Maker. Not before. Not before. We got one shot. This party is going to need certain things from you. The sweater you're wearing, it didn't come free. We pay for it. And we don't have money. I don't want money for the sweater. Ek weet julle is te lief om Nike te koop. What we need for you to do is, if you're still not registered to vote, is to get it done. And then we need you on voting day to come with your ID and make your cross on the right spot. You must remember, every cross made next to the NCC is a smack in the face of Verwoed, of Botha, of Zille, of JP Smith. There's going to be a whole lot of smacks, I can tell you that. But when you make that cross, you're investing in the future of the colored child. We don't have the type of investments these people make. We don't. We got to start creating it. There's no party that's going to stand up for your kids like we will. You know this. And if you think we lie, go do your research. 28 years. 28 years of grand speeches every year. Who's ever said a word about the colored child? No one. Because that's what we are. A nothing. An economic nothing. You know, one Oppenheimer can buy what all the coloreds in this country own. Property, pensions, cars, everything. Economically, we are nothing. Yes, we got colored people thinking that they made it. They think they made it because my car's new, because my house is in Thornton. In economic terms, he's a nothing. What we need to do is start creating our own millionaires, our own entrepreneurs, those people that can invest in places like Happy Valley, that can employ people from Delft and Tafelsig and Hanover Park, and that is when wealth comes into our communities. Right now, the only wealth we know in our communities is the drug dealer. You got to change that narrative. Who did I say yesterday? Was it today? Somebody asked me, what did you want to be growing up? Said a smokkelaar. He was the clearest sign of success in my community. Drove a Mercedes Benz. He had a gold chain. He had a big house. What were our fathers? Bricklayers. Carpenters. If you wanted to see success through the eyes of a 15-year-old lady in Lavendale, you're looking at a drug dealer. We got to change that perception. She knows what I'm talking about. Her brother and I are best friends. We did drugs together. We pulled firearms together. We robbed business together. I'm pleased to say that he's reformed as well. See, he's got a brand new car also. No? You see, reform is possible. I could do it. Anyone can. We need to create the conditions for these kids to reform. We can send them to the best rehabs in the world, which the colored community doesn't have. We don't have rehabs. But what does he come home to? The same thing that led him there. And I'm going to end it with this. You got 400,000 drug addicts walking around in the Cape Metro. 90% of those in the colored community. And then you've got a government that gives you zero in social development. Listen carefully to what I'm saying to you. Nothing for these young boys and girls that are dying because government doesn't see them as worth it. You would think with a drug pandemic, our government would have something in place for these kids. There isn't even a preventative program at primary school to teach young kids, this is what you become when you do drugs. Do you know what the city of Cape Town and the DA and the ANC is saying to our kids? Go ahead, go do all the drugs you want. Go and be as destructive as you want. Go die as early as you want. There's too many of you here anyway. This year.
Yes.
Before I close, are there any questions? Any? Maar klaar gepraat, maar kan Tino is here, you can speak to him after the meeting. Any questions? None? I should be a salesman.
So.
Bye bye. Baspa?